Vinaka and welcome to Talk Business, and if you're joining us from around the region, a big hello to you too. Commercial agriculture was once the stronghold of our economy. However, it's now making a comeback with reforms initiated by the government. What's different though is that it's targeted at younger people aspiring to become agro-entrepreneurs. Join us as we show you how a group of youngsters have embarked on a journey to become commercial farmers and just how information technology has made an impact on commercial farming. That's all coming up in the next half hour. Agriculture was once the lifeblood of our economy. More than 3/4 of all Fijian households used to engage in agriculture-related activities. And it used to contribute significantly to our GDP. Today, many able farmers have traded in the farm tools for the lesser dirty jobs. Agriculture is now the third largest sector and rakes in around $416 million or 9.35% of GDP annually. Major reforms in specific agro-based industries and incentives to keep farmers on the farms has created growing interest, more so in younger people, to put on the gumboots and get their hands dirty. One such initiative is the Commercial Agriculture Program that is offered by the Fiji National University. Through a partnership with the government, the College of Agriculture, Fisheries and Forests is determined to produce the country's first batch of commercial farmers. Yes, you heard that right. A specifically designed course that actually trains students to become qualified farmers.
Over the last 3 decades, the Agriculture College, in fact, were not producing commercial farmers. What the Agriculture College was producing was agriculture extension officers, agriculture science teachers, loans officers for Fiji Development Bank, research officers for Ministry of Agriculture, extension officers for Ministry of Agriculture, quarantine officers for FIRCA. But what we failed to do is to produce commercial farmers. When the Agriculture College used to advertise for scholarships for the diploma program, students used to come in and when they used to advertise that, they used to say, here is the future, career path. Once you do your diploma program, you can become agriculture science teacher, you can become a extension officer or a research officer or a loans officer. And that's how they used to market the program. But never ever we thought, look, why don't we produce commercial farmers? And the program was designed as such, was also, it did not really provide them with the upskilling, the hands-on skills of farming. So then the university came up with this idea, after discussing with the government, that look, there should be a separate program where from day go, when you advertise the program, you tell that this is for commercial farmers. This is the primary objective of this scheme, is to produce commercial farmers.
There's no secret that the move from subsistence to commercial agriculture is the key to stimulating growth in the industry. While agriculture production volumes in the Pacific have increased over the last 3 decades, on a per capita basis, it has declined. It's a worrying scenario when you tie in the food security aspect. That's why a commercial agriculture program like this, offered by the FNU, would go a long way in filling the huge vacuum in the industry.
It's the first ever government's program which is designed to deal with the problem in agriculture sector. And the problem in agriculture sector now is, with the leases coming up now for offer, there's no takers. We have farmers who are basically aging, and government realized that unless we pump in young, qualified, skilled farmers with commercial mindset, we'll not be able to really bring agriculture sector to the level that is required for Fiji. Hence, the government developed this commercial agriculture package.
So, what's at stake? Well, the government has pumped in $500,000 into this one-year course. Graduating students receive a loan of $70,000 interest-free. This will allow them to purchase 100 acres of farmland, a house, a shed, a tractor, and basic farm implements, fertilizer, and other necessary materials. And on top of that, $2,000 startup cash.
The idea is to make them entrepreneurs, not a job seeker, job givers. They can produce job for others. If they start farming, they can employ so many other persons. So this is a very good approach. Even if you see in the declaration, the government will be managing about 100 acres of land, and then they will be given tractor, some equipments, then fertilizers and chemicals, and then they will be given one house, and there will be one shed for that purpose, and they will be given $2,000 Fiji dollars as a recurring expenditure. The total amount that will be given to each student is about $70,000. Though it is a loan, they have to repay it, but this is a very good beginning.
And the initiative's got some potential young farmers hooked. Loata Tambulawaki is only 20 years old. At first glance, you wonder why on earth would she trade that iconic bulla smile, synonymous to the service industry, for getting down and dirty in a piggery. But there's no fooling her. She's a driven young girl who wants to make it big in the agriculture business. Loata tells me in 10 years from now, I might just be employed by her because she's determined to become a millionaire.
I'm doing a little planning, and I'm hoping that next 5 years' time I want to become a first teenage and women millionaire.
It's not a far-fetched dream if you know the potential of our agriculture sector. The perception that farming is a poor man's job is no longer the threat factor. Those like Loata know where the money is.
Because nowadays, there's more youth looking for jobs, so Fiji is, I know Fiji is a small place, and there will be no more jobs opportunity for them, so I decided to just choose farm and help my family for that. I think farming getting more money than those working on hotels and white-collar jobs.
Rajneesh Singh, a 29-year-old from Nassori, also decided to take the plunge and become a farmer. For him too, it's all about passion and making a living off the farm. Growing up and raising goats on his family estate, not once did it occur to him to switch careers.
Well, I saw an opportunity because most of the youths are moving towards white collar jobs, so there's a huge demand for local products in Fiji. So that is why I'm venturing into farming. Farming gives more revenue than any other business at the moment, yeah. And it's also tax-free.
Is it something your parents wanted you to do or something that you wanted to do?
This is something that I want to do. It's my dream to become a farmer.
So you may ask, why is it necessary to educate a farmer? Don't they already know the mechanics of farming? Well, you'll be surprised. Farming requires specific knowledge, especially when it comes to modern techniques.
Back in the village, selling pigs just come, sell and go. Whereas here I came to learn that how to choose pigs, which one to choose, and their breeds and all kinds of other pigs breeding and all that.
The market is very good at the moment because the price is high and there's a huge demand for goat meat. I'm going to build a couple of more sheds and buy up land, 100 acres land. So initially I have about 50 goats, but with that money I will be able to get up to 200 or 250 goats. So that's a large sum.
But it hasn't always been that easy. farming too comes with its own set of unique challenges.
As a female, there's more tough jobs. Like you have to build, like piglets are born, you have to build their shed. So there's a class chef, he's a boy, and you always tell us girls, you do this, you do that. So I challenge myself for that. I say, I'm a girl, I can do this. Not only boys can do that, girls too can do that.
There are some people who are always going to discourage us because it's a dirty job, as some people might call it. But with the amount of return, there's no turning back on that.
There's no doubt that agriculture plays an important role in the process of rural development. That's where you'll find the bulk of land area waiting to be ploughed. After carrying out research into China's modernized farming structure, Dr. Reddy believes there's a feasible model Fiji can emulate.
So what they've done is, in the urban areas, they created all sorts of incentives to source out the surplus labor that you have in the rural areas, so that you modernize your agriculture sector. You have larger farms and plantations where you can make those kind of capital investment. And that has resulted in remarkable growth in the agriculture production as well as productivity. Now in Fiji, while we've got an while there's an opportune time now to modernize our agriculture sector, because a lot of leases which are expired now have been picked up by other people within the sector, and therefore they've got now a larger farms or big farms. So the opportunity to mechanize or modernize the agriculture sector is there, but you don't have people who would want to peg their future in agriculture sector, who would want to see agriculture as a business. See, up till now, apart from the sugar industry, the other agricultural activities, crop and livestock, apart from sugar and poultry to that extent, people are not seeing agriculture as a business activity. They were seeing it as a part-time, semi-subsistence activity.
And that's where the focus lies for the university too. Modern methods of farming to keep the agro trade interesting and feasible.
Our emphasis will be the modern techniques which are very much suitable for Fiji. We are not going to mistake, we are not going to do all those mistakes which other countries have done. So that is the purpose of this program. So they don't do mistake, they do it scientifically, they produce quality product so that the consumers are benefited, farmers are benefited. As a whole, if they are producing more in quantity, we can have foreign exchange also.
But is passion enough to keep our young and enthusiastic farmers going? How do we ensure that a commercial agriculture scheme in which the government has heavily invested in will reap good results?
We did face-to-face interviews, about close to 150 applications were there. Out of that, we just wanted about 50, we had allocation for 50. One of the questions we asked was, assume you're given a scholarship to do a Bachelor of Education or Diploma in Education and at Lautoka campus, a full scholarship. Would you want to take that? The moment we received a response saying yes, we would go, that means the primary interest of this person is not in agriculture or commercial farming. So there itself is screened out. Right? The second is that we've told them that this is, once you finish the program, you will go and do commercial farming. So there's a bond that they have signed with the Public Service Commission, because the grant is from the Public Service Commission. The third way is that the second trimester is actually practical on farm. So they are placed on FNU farms where they're doing actually the actual practical aspect of whichever stream they've chosen, whether it's goat farming or sheep farming or prawn farming or crop farming. So in that, they're getting hands-on skills, and they're looking at what is the potential in terms of that particular activity as a business, and what the possible returns would be. Then we're taking them to visits to actual agriculture businesses. For example, we took them to the Valley Road agriculture farmers. There's very successful Chinese commercial farmers there. We have taken them to the poultry farms, the Crest and Ramsami's poultry farm. We've taken them to a few other places where we expose them to the potential of agriculture as a business venture, and we've also shown them the export sector of agricultural exports to New Zealand and Australia in Singotoka, where they're actually doing the packaging, putting in container and getting it to the airport. So in that way, we are also kind of getting them to understand that it is not only the normal industrial manufacturing sector where they can, white collar jobs they can get, but this can be seen as a real potential business venture.
That's why those eager agro entrepreneurs like Ulasi Oliver understand just what's at stake. Commercial farming simply isn't everyone's cup of tea, because it's a lot more than plowing the land and sowing the seeds. A lot of it is also about understanding and fusing traditional methods of farming with modern techniques to maximize the harvest.
All of the things I'm learning, I've just especially the equipment here. Just the equipment job you're learning, but all of these things I'm learning here, I've been doing it as a practical at home, back in Vanuatu.
This is helping you just to go in depth and to understand a bit more about sheep farming, huh?
Just broadening my knowledge in sheep farming.
24-year-old Oliver hails from Senganga, and his family is already engaged in both crop and animal farming on a small scale. But this young entrepreneur has big plans, and he's placed his sights on sheep farming.
It's only for meat production in Fiji. There's huge market in Vanuatu. People demand sheep more than other. There's more import, as I know. So that will be my aim, to fulfill the domestic market in Vanuatu. First thing, it will be fresh, rather than importing, like having the imported frozen ones. We don't know how long that is. Fresh meat is best for our health, so for healthier Fiji.
Another aspiring agro producer is Alessi Vesanga. Her passion lies in crop farming, and she hopes to convert her family's subsistence farm into a viable commercial venture.
Agriculture has a great demand and more return in our country. That's why people need food every day so they consume food. So far we have learned about land preparation, how to prepare the land before planting, managing practices of crops such as cassava, dalo and ginger planting, and we also learn post-harvest management practices.
Alessi has a sound business plan in place, providing constant supply to nearby resorts, at the same time creating jobs for her fellow villagers.
I think by doing commercial agriculture, there will be brought a lot of income in the village, as the government also assisting farmers in various ways. So I would like to encourage the people that agriculture is very important field, that they also brought a lot of opportunity in jobs and also eradicate poverty on our country.
Information communication technology has changed the world as we know it. From our lifestyles to how we communicate and exchange information, just about every aspect of how we live has evolved through global connectedness. ICT has great potential and an influential role when it comes to agriculture. It can easily support new methods of farming, from computerized farm machinery to early flood warning systems to even the development of websites to market produce. And the country's pioneering mobile operator has come up with a practical local IT solution that goes right to the core of the industry's biggest challenge: access to markets. Buying and selling of all sorts of items online has become popular around the world, so why not agricultural products? That's where an innovative platform called Fiji Makete comes in. It's a virtual market trading facility that connects farmers to potential buyers of their produce through the simple use of a mobile phone and shortcode.
We dial a shortcode, which is *142#. And basically it says, these are the services that are available. You select, you sell, you buy, you can get weather update, go to the Fiji market for registration, etc. So if I choose option 1, which is to sell, then I get choose option for point of sale. So I can say you buy it right from my farm gate, you can come to a market to purchase, or this is specifically for exports. So if I choose option 1 there as farm gate, it'll tell me which area. I could be in Kandavu, I say 3 for Kandavu. Then I say choose a category of the vegetable that I want to sell, or produce that I want to sell. Let's say I want to sell kava, which Kandavu is renowned for. So I choose option 7. It says please choose the type of kava you want to sell, fresh or dried. I say dried, which is option 2. Quantity in units, so if I have 200 kg, I enter 200 kg. It says price per unit, so what's the price that I as a producer want for my product, and I say I want at least $15 for the hard work that I have put in. So I enter $15, and it'll basically say please confirm kava dried by 200 units, 200 kg at $15 per unit. Offer expires in 2 days. Supply area Kandavu, confirm. So I enter confirm, and it says your offer will now be listed on the www.fijimakete.com.fj. Thank you for using Fiji Makete. So the product that then gets listed on the website, and anybody who is looking at buying kavas, kava dealers basically can go on that website, see who is available, where they are available, how much they're selling, what's the price they're asking for, and then they are able to then contact the seller and basically buy.
Vodafone Fiji is also looking at developing specific mobile applications or apps for young farmers to better access the market and the agriculture department for assistance.
There are people running away from farms into urban areas, into cities. I think if we can reverse the trend using technology and provide interest, then technology does come into play. And also part of the reason why people have been running away from farms is because they are isolated from the rest of the world. But if technology can give them the same kind of lifestyle which they enjoy in the urban areas, in the rural areas, and still have that open area, freedom, fresh air, then people obviously would be interested to stay on the farm.
And it's this sort of technology that could ultimately make the difference in propping up our agriculture sector. It's the younger farmers that will pave the way forward for the fusion of agriculture and ICT.
The Ministry of Lands, Ministry of Finance and the ITLB is working in terms of identifying the parcels of land that the students could use. They're also looking at the financial package to finance the basic farmhouse and machinery, etc. that was announced in the budget. What the plan is that each student will be hooked up with an extension officer who will monitor the students' progress on the farm. for the first 3 years. So that's how the program is developed.
Here in Fiji, this is one of the prime sector where we have a lot of resources, and people can be attracted, and once we produce, we can market it all over the world. Instead of importing the things, we can export those things. And once we have a good market, good price, certainly the economic status of the farmer will also go up.
And here's some timely advice for those still pondering on the benefits of becoming a farmer.
I just want to encourage the youths out there. Agriculture is a sector that you will gain more money, because you see many people nowadays, they're looking for jobs, but agriculture, you plant, you sell, you earn a day. Instead of white jobs, you have to 2 weeks time, fortnight time, or monthly payment. So my advice to young youth is choose agriculture, because agriculture will help you in the future.
There's a huge market for farming, and if you look at the unemployment rate at the moment, it is very high. So farming is the best to lean to.
I just like to encourage the youths of today that if they have a piece of land, they could practice commercial farming, as they can build their own shed of livestock, or doing crops, product, or vegetables, so that they can improve their living standard and also reduce the poverty on our country.
And that's all for this week. For questions or comments, do email us talkbusiness@fijitv.com.fj. Remember, you can view what you've just seen on our website. That's www.fijitv.info, and follow the links to Talk Business. Even better, follow us on Facebook. That's www.facebook.com/talkbusiness, and do subscribe to our YouTube channel, Talk Business. That's all for this week. Do join us again at the same time next week. Until then, have a productive week.